I have a couple of funny stories about this item. I am back down in my basement annex because I have a sale. It's on Etsy. It's going to be hard to tell, but because there's round plates here and square ones here. I sold the square ones. I think I've mentioned before that I am always so attracted to the more feminine colors and patterns and florals. And I'm always in the mindset when I'm out thrifting that if I like it, somebody else is probably going to like it too. These particular ones, my friend Sherry and I were at the Goodwill in Exton, Pennsylvania. Sherry from Sherry Fab Finds. And she saw a new cart come out, and I was filming something in another house. She goes, I'll go follow the cart. There is an entire set of these dishes. These are Johnson Brothers. Let me just gently set that down. Johnson Brothers. This is the summer chintz pattern, made in England. I have the dinner plates, I have the round salad plates, and I have these. And I just realized that I never listed up the berry bowls. So I have to hurry up and list up the berry bowls. I just missed them somehow. I had separated them. I don't know what happened. Maybe I got interrupted. I try to list a set of dishes like this all together. But if I get interrupted and I come back, I might start listing something else. And I just completely forgot to list those. So that's a to-do item. I paid $3.80 for the set of 4, and I sold them for $26 plus shipping on Etsy. I had another late night Niknax.net live sale. It had some hiccups. But I still got through it, and I made a couple of sales. The first item that sold is this little golden book. It's called The Christmas Bunny. And I also sold, let me put this over here, and I also sold a set of 4 of these paper mache ornaments. My total cost of goods on the 2 items is $1.22, and I sold them for $8 plus shipping. I have a couple of funny stories about this item. The first story isn't exactly funny, but I had this gravy boat and the 2 vegetable serving bowls together because I thought, oh, why not? They're all serving pieces. I've done that before, in fact, with this very set. This is that blue garland. It is made by Johann Havlin. Made in Bavaria, Germany. Very pretty set. I have sold so much of this set. So I decided I'll put these together because I think I sold like the salt and peppers and the creamer and sugar and all that together as a set. Well, it wasn't selling. So I thought, let me break it up because maybe someone who needs a gravy boat doesn't necessarily need the serving bowls. So I was in the middle of delisting this, taking more pictures, and relisting it up. I took a break, and then I was watching my friend Brianna, Primrose Collectibles, on her, YouTube channel. I watch her videos. I watch a lot of people's videos. And she's like, oh, I have a sold. And she sold her gravy boat. I was kind of laughing. So this is the funny part. So I was kind of laughing. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have one too, but it's not listed at the moment because I'm in the process of relisting it. And she talked about how she had it for a long time and that she had delisted it and did a sell similar and relisted it on eBay. It's good to do that to refresh your store. And she was saying that once she did that, it sold right away. I was like, how funny is that? I'm like, I have the exact same item. I'm in the process of doing the exact same thing. And sure enough, guess what sold? This did. So, funny, not hilarious, haha funny, but humorous to me. I had to laugh that she sold hers because she had delisted and relisted it. And I did the same thing. However, I did not sell mine on eBay. I sold mine on Etsy. I see the creamers for this pattern all the time in thrift stores by themselves, but I don't pick the creamer up by itself because by itself it doesn't sell for a lot. But I was in another thrift store. It was a Value World. This is a long time ago. And I saw all the serving pieces, the gravy bowls, the vegetable bowls, the creamer, the sugar, the salt and peppers, and there was a whole bunch of teacups and saucers. I did not buy the teacups and saucers though. And this is all platinum lined. And it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a bolo in that it does sell pretty quickly. Except for when you package it up, you know, like I did with the vegetable bowls and the gravy boat. I should have done them separately right from the get-go. The other pieces sold together as a whole giant set because it was, like I said, the salt and pepper, the creamer, and the sugar, and that made sense to put those all together. I paid $5.95 for this, so yeah, I paid up for it. And I sold it for $16.50 plus shipping on eBay. So it's definitely a pattern to be looking out for. I have two sold, and they're both on this table. And I have another sold that's down in the basement. Let's do these first. I have this brass doorstop. It's made by Upper Deck, 1988 it says on it. This mama goose with her pretty eyes and the baby geese with their bows. I paid $2 at a garage sale for this doorstop, and I sold it on eBay for $20.94 plus shipping. And the second item I sold it out of the Buy It Now on Niknax.net. There are thousands of items on there. Don't wait for live sales. I did run this a bunch of times on live sales, but I do those late night ones, and not everybody's shopping late night. They might be early birds. They would never get to see my live shows. So sometimes I like to switch out my items. Here's my items for my live sales. And so I moved this to the Buy It Now so that I could add new items in, because I only run like 20 to 25 items in the auction, and the rest of my items are in my Buy It Now, which I have a whole bunch on there too. But you should look up what you're looking for. If you're looking for trinket boxes, or in this case, this would be under wood decor. You could have looked up moose. It would have come up with that name as well. So this is just a wooden block. It's just for decor. It's not marked or anything. This came in a box, a mystery box of Christmas items that I got at the Exton Goodwill in January this year. My friend Sherry from Sherry's Fab Finds, we were there. We're like, oh, let's do after Christmas, shopping. And she found this mystery box, and then she was teasing me, buy it, buy it. It's worked out well. So I have no cost into this item, and I sold it on Niknax for $4 plus shipping. I am downstairs in the basement annex, and I'm looking at my summer chintz plates and bowls, my dishes here, because 2 of them sold. So I have 5 dinner plates, but you can even tell by looking here that 2 of them are different than the other 3, and that is correct. And that's how I listed them, and I sold the 2 on the bottom. So I have to get all of this off of here, and then I can bring it upstairs and show it to you. This is what the summer chintz pattern looks like. They're all trimmed in pink with all these beautiful flowers on them. They're made by Johnson Brothers, And this is a different logo than the other ones I have. The other ones don't have all the flowers. It's completely different font. And that's why I separated them as a set of 3 plates and a set of 2 plates. They are made in England. And even though that says like dishwasher and microwave safe, microwaves have been around for a long time. Same with dishwashers. Dishwashers have been around for a long time. So these are definitely vintage. I paid $1.90 for the 2 plates, and I sold them on eBay for $17.99 plus shipping. I have a haul that I want to share with you. These are all new to me items. I didn't thrift them. They came from a house clean out. My next door neighbor is cleaning out, well, along with her siblings, cleaning out the family home. Her parents are selling that home and they have moved into assisted living. Let's start with the teapot. It comes with the creamer and the sugar. And let's see what it says on the bottom. I gotta look at it myself. It says chromium, and it also says Cromwell, silver. Oh my goodness, I gotta keep turning it. I know I'm not showing you guys. I'm trying to read the bottom of this. NFG Corp. There we go. Oh, manufacturing, right? Manufacturing. Cromwell Silver Manufacturing Group. Chromium. So cool. She showed this to me, and she was thinking about listing items up, you know, herself. She sells things on Facebook Marketplace all the time, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you can do that. But I was like, if you want me to do it, I'll list it up, but I'll be cross-posting things, you know, to lots of platforms. And then as I sell them, you know, minus all the fees and all that, we can use that money to, you know, go out on or whatever. I kind of do that with my friends. Normally they only give me 1 or 2 items. In this case, she gave me a bunch of items and probably more to come. In fact, there is more to come. I have some dishes that I need. Well, I just need to list them. She already gave them to me. You guys already saw that. And then there might be a few more items that she has down in her basement because she's trying not to overwhelm me by giving me like too many items when she knows I'm trying to also list up my own items and get those moving. So some of these items, as we go around here, might come to a live sale on Niknax. And this is really cool too. They're definitely going to be on eBay and Etsy, and some might actually make it onto Poshmark. My friend said that her sister looked this up and it sells for a pretty good price. So I'm like, okay, let me take a picture and look it up on Google Lens. And it was coming up Duchin, D-U-C-H-I-N. And then I was noticing on some of them, because some of them were taller and more elaborate, they're just different. And it would say 3 pieces, 2 pieces. And I'm like, does this come apart? And sure enough, when I started twisting it, it came apart. So you can use it that way. You can take, and if you don't want the 3 candlestick holder, you can use it as a single. And then let's see if I can get this to, and there it is, sterling, weighted, I think. I think that's what that says. I'm going to take a better picture of it. So I zoomed in on it so we can see it. It definitely says sterling weighted. Now, I'm not so sure that it's made by that company because the other pictures look different. On the other Duchin pieces, this braided mark around here and on the bottom is also in the middle. So I don't see that, so I'm still doing my investigation. And of course, you're probably saying, turn it over, let's see the bottom. This is what the bottom looks like. And it does have this piece of tape and has some faded writing on it. I am going to have to get that off to see if there's any other markings on the bottom, because silver plate sells for one price and sterling sells for another. So her sister might be right that this is worth some money. I think she said like $35, but that's if it's silver plate. If it's sterling, it might be more like $100 and some or $200 and some dollars. Okay, I took that tape off. It actually basically fell off. And believe it or not, it is a Duchin. D-U-C-H-I-N creation, sterling weighted. Now we're at the upper end of the price range. The first thing she also asked me is, should I polish it up? I'm like, no. Like, you leave the patina and you leave that up to the buyer. I am going to circle back around with my friend for in case she wants to keep this as a family heirloom, being that this is way more valuable than she thought or her sister thought. Before I would list it, now that I've kind of done my investigation. It is so fun sleuthing to find out what things are. Here's that tape. It just kind of fell off. It was just so old. It had no adhesive left to it. Now, I didn't clean up the piggy bank. I didn't clean up anything she gave me. These items were coming out of boxes from the basement or wherever. Some of these items had just been in the house for like the last, say, 30, 40 years or so. But I was like, oh my goodness, look at the piggy. Look at the face on the piggy bank with the little flowers. And it has like an opalescence to it. It doesn't have a stopper, but I don't think people are actually using these as piggy banks. Some remnant of a sticker there. And let me look at the flowers on this side. It's got flowers and leaves. And I do not see any chipping. And when they were, say, packing up the house, things were just being wrapped and put in a box. I'm surprised this survived. But here it is. He's just so cute. Let me look him up to see what he is. We're going to sleuth this together. Did you all guess what it was? I did. In my mind, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a Lefton, and Google Lens confirmed it. It is vintage. Some of the dates were from like the 50s or so. I'm thinking, and it could be that this is, although one of the kids, like maybe my friend, her sisters, had this as a piggy bank, but it would have been, if it was from the 50s, none of them were born in the 50s. They were all born in the 60s and 70s. So maybe this was around as a family heirloom before, or it was like their moms or something, or their grandmoms or something. Somebody gave it to them. It was like a vintage piggy that was like, oh, you can have it now. So it's made in Japan, and I think in terms of value, it's in that $20 to $25 range. When she unwrapped this bowl, I was like, oh, look how pretty that is. Love the flowers. They're kind of like a burnt orange, dark peach color with the green leaves and all the gold in there. And the shape of it, very unusual shape on the edges. It's like a square bowl, like round on the bottom and square on the top. It is Andrea by Sadek, Made in Japan, hand painted, 9466. Look at the edges. Just very pretty. Yeah, it definitely has that like an Asian look to it for sure. It'll brighten up once I wash it up very gently, because you do not want to be rubbing. You don't take a scrubby pad to this. You would rub that pattern right off, or the gold off of that. This is going to be a gentle cleaning with a soft rag, just to get some of the smuts off of it. I have no idea the value of this, so let's see if Google Lens can help me out. Google Lens was my friend and was able to look this up for me. The estimated value of this is like $30 to $35. The interesting part is this is one of a few pieces that I saw online there. There was ginger jars, there was a flat round serving platter, there was another bowl that was shaped like this, but instead of being 4-sided, it was like, I think 5 or 6-sided, so there's like a bigger bowl. It's nice that you know that there's more pieces out there, especially if it's the first time you've ever seen it and you're like, wow, I don't know if I want just this. But if I had more pieces of it, it would make, you know, a nice display. Or you'd have like, you know, some matching pieces to it, although it's beautiful, completely beautiful by itself. And I think it also said it was from like the 1950s. She showed me this and I was like, oh, that's cute. Love is kind. It's just a little girl with her flower cart. It's adorable. You know, it was one of these vintage little wall hangers. What does that say? Cross. CROSS Publishing Company. This is definitely going to come to a live sale. Definitely put that up in the live sale. And then she had these vintage cards with the big sailboats on them. And this says Congress playing cards, Cellutone finish, Macolac finest paint in 100 years. So this was like maybe a promotional item. And this is like felted here. I mean, normally it's just, and then, oh, let's open it up. Let me get this little tabby and see if I can get that to open. Oh no, it pulls out. It's like a little drawer. Oh, let me see. I almost got it. Nope. I'm going to have to use 2 hands. Okay, I had to turn it over. Otherwise, all the cards would fall out. So yeah, there's 2 full decks of cards. They've got the pink one and the yellow one here that match that top picture there. So that's cute. That's awesome. And then she gave me this. She was like, what do you think of this? I'm like, that is really unique. Obviously, it's for Detroit. 250th birthday festival. It's just a saucer, though. I'm going to have to ask her if she knows or if there's a teacup. Because initially, I thought it was just a little plate. But now that I'm looking at it, you can see that little indent for a saucer by Vernon Kilns, USA. So definitely vintage. I'll have to look up. Oh yeah, it kind of has some dates there. Try to figure out when this was made based on that date right there, the 250 years of when Detroit was established. I'll put something in the video here as I find out the history. Okay, I might have had a blonde moment there. This is when it was established, and this was when it was 250 years old. Of course, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't realize that as I was looking at it. So Detroit's been around for a long time. Not as old as some other cities in the United States, but pretty old. This was in lieu of a thrift with me. This is the house clean out, which is just as fun, although I didn't get the chance to actually film that, where they were just putting stuff in boxes, because or that it was stored in boxes in a storage area, because right before her parents moved out of the house, they had a pipe burst and it damaged the kitchen, the basement, all that. So they had to pack up a bunch of items and put it into storage while the whole house was being redone. So it has a brand new kitchen now, and the basement's been redone, and now they're getting ready to sell it. So then all of those items that were in storage, they brought it over to a warehouse that the one sibling has, and then they were going through all the items to see who wants to keep it, anything, if you want to keep it, if you want to donate it, you know, whatever you're going to do with it. Some of the items probably went to the landfill because they probably weren't worth saving because of the whole flooding issue. But this is some more items from that house clear out. I think these are like so much fun, especially the piggy bank. What's your favorite item? Okay, you always have to do more due diligence. So it's false alarm on this, even though it is sterling silver. It only sells for around $35, $40. I think I was looking at ones that were bigger or more elaborate or taller or something like that, and those were listed anywhere from like $100 to $200. So I have to backtrack on what I thought the value of this is, and that is all part of being a reseller. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.